He was raised on a cross, and a title was fixed, indicating who it was who was being executed. Painful it is to say, but more terrible not to say. He who suspended the earth is suspended. He who fixed the heavens is fixed. He who fastened all things is fastened to the wood. The master is outraged. God has been murdered. These words from the 2nd century Bishop Melito of Sardis help illustrate the gravity of what we will be commemorating this upcoming week. Today, Palm Sunday, marks the beginning of the most important week of the entire year. To highlight the importance of this upcoming week, the Church gives us for today's Gospel the climax of all 4 Gospel accounts, that of the passion and death of our Lord. This upcoming week, we will reach the end of what Lent has been leading up to, as we remember the death of God. The death of God. Again, he who fixed the heavens and earth is himself fixed to a cross. Unfortunately, I think this truth, that God has been murdered, has lost a lot of its shock value in our modern culture. In fact, the very image of the cross has lost a lot of its symbolic power. It has been commercialized and regulated to mere decoration. We hang pastel-colored crosses on our walls and use crucifixes as jewelry. And while these things are not bad by any means, they have in some way influenced the way we understand what the cross symbolizes. To truly understand the symbolism of the cross, we have to go back to the 1st century. The image of a cross was not meant to evoke feelings of hope and comfort, as it does for many Christians today. Rather, during the 1st century, the cross was used as a cruel instrument of torture and death. It was like an electric chair or a guillotine, except far more shameful and offensive. In fact, the word excruciating is taken from the word cross, the Latin being ex cruce. That our English word for agonizing pain finds its root in the word cross helps us understand how horrible the death of Christ actually was. Now, there are plenty of ways we can explore the mystery of Christ dying on the cross. Suffice it to say, part of the reason why our Lord freely chose to undergo the agonizing death of crucifixion was to plumb the depths of the human condition. In becoming man, Christ has sanctified all of our human activities. In other words, because he is divine, the world that he experienced as man has been touched by divinity. And the greatest thing that he experienced, the greatest thing that he made holy, was suffering and death. For it was on the cross, in the anguish of death, that he loved us most. Therefore, death is no longer something to be afraid of. Rather, it is something that has been flipped on its head and is now, beyond all irony, the source of our salvation. This coming Friday, we will fully commemorate Christ's death. Like today, we will again hear another account of the passion of our Lord. And yet, with confidence, we will call that day Good Friday. The day Christ was betrayed, abandoned, unjustly sentenced to death, and hung upon a cross is called, again, beyond irony, good. And so it is. For through the cross, evil does not have the final word. We know the end of this story. While in isolation, Christ's death may seem like a tragedy, it is, after all is said and done, part of an epic story that has, after a dark and seemingly hopeless catastrophe, a happy ending. So yes, this week we will mourn the death of God, but we will not despair. On the contrary, we will hope, and we will hold fast to the truth that there is life and resurrection waiting for us on the final day.